Hey everyone, in this video I'm going to show you how I made this creepy skull totem pole using all Dollar Tree items. First, I will be using the Waverly acrylic paint in the color Still and the Apple Barrel paint in the color Black. I will be stamping that all over this galvanized bucket that I got from the Dollar Tree. Now, if you didn't want to do this step, you could easily just spray paint the bucket instead, which is what I should have done because it would have been faster. But I thought I could cover the wording by doing it this way, but I just think it wouldn't have made much of a difference. So I would just recommend spray painting it the color that you want. After the paint is dry, I'm going to be taking some of the dry floral foam from the Dollar Tree. I'm just going to cut the foam to fit down in the bucket. Then I'm going to be adding some hot glue to the bottom of the foam and then placing it in as centered as I can. Next, I'm taking one of the handles from the Dollar Tree and I will be removing the top. Then I will be taking the bottom of the handle and I'm just going to push it down into the foam, trying to get it as centered as I can. You can add hot glue to the handle if you want to give it some extra support. In this next step, I'm going to be taking 9 of the Dollar Tree skulls. In 8 of the skulls, I will be cutting an X in the bottom of the skull and an X in the top of the skull. This is to form a hole so that we can slide the skulls onto our handle. I'm using a box knife to cut the X's with, and the bottom of the skulls was a lot easier to cut an X in than the top of the skull. The skull is a little bit thicker plastic, I guess, and so I was having a little bit of a hard time getting that cut, and I did end up slicing my thumb open a little bit, so just please be very careful when you're cutting an X in these skulls. And also don't forget to remove the labels. So I will be cutting the X's in 8 of the skulls. Next, I will be sliding the skulls onto the handle. And as you can see with this one, I was having a little bit of a hard time getting it on, but with a little force, I finally got it down. And it was like that with most of them. I don't know if you can tell, but there's a little dent on the top of his head. I did fix that. So I am just going to slide all 8 of the skulls down the handle, positioning them in different directions. Here I'm just showing you where I left a little bit of a space in between the base of the skull and the top of the pot. It's about 4 finger width of space. So, and then I also filled the bucket with some more of the dry foam just to make it a little more sturdy. If you're going to be putting this outside though, you'll want to add rocks or something to the bottom of the bucket because it is a little bit top heavy. So if you're setting it outside and it gets a little bit windy, it could blow it over. So for the last skull, you will only need an X cut in the bottom. I'm just going to be adding some hot glue to the top of the handle. And then I'm just going to slide the skull down on top of the handle. Next, I'm taking some of the Spanish moss from the Dollar Tree and I'm going to place it on top of the foam using hot glue. And I did use quite a bit of the Spanish moss around the bottom. Now I'm adding more of the Spanish moss in between the skulls. Next, I'm going to take some of these mini skulls from the Dollar Tree. I used 2 bags. There are 8 in a bag. And I'm just adding them in random places using hot glue. And here is the totem pole now that it's all done. I hope that you all enjoyed this video. If you did, please give it a thumbs up. And don't forget to hit that subscribe button. I hope you all are having a wonderful day. Thanks for watching. Bye.